You've tried them all: infrared sauna, ice bath, recovery massage, increasing your protein intake, maybe even investing in the expensive Zoe app. But your energy levels are still inconsistent and unpredictable in both your training, your runs, and your life outside of training. One day you're feeling on top of the world, you're cruising in the runs, your numbers are looking really good, and then the next, poof, you just have this massive energy crash, and it's infuriating because you're putting into practice all the advice from the latest fitness guru. So what if I told you there's a really simple sport nutrition strategy that I'm going to share with you in this video that is going to enable you to have consistent energy in both your training and your life outside of training, so that you've got the confidence that you're doing the exact right thing with your recovery, and that's going to enable you to have better mood. It's going to enable you to have more headspace with your family. It's going to enable you to be more productive at work. So when you put these strategies into practice, you're going to have that consistent energy. And regardless of your background, your genetics, just how hectic your work and family life are, you can experience the same results that I've had and all of my clients have had. And I'm going to share these tips with you just in this video. So what are you waiting for? Go and grab a pen and a bit of paper so that you can apply what I'm going to teach you to your life and to your routine. It's going to be so easy. I'm going to simplify it. It's just going to be 2 tips. You're going to put them into practice and you're going to start feeling better as of tomorrow. Let's dive into it. The first thing I want you to really consider is the refuel. Refuel. So if you are training in the morning, what I need you to do is plan what you're going to have immediately after, before you go for that run. Now, a lot of the time I see people not really having much before their morning session, and then also not really having much afterwards, then having their breakfast, feeling flat through the rest of the day, feeling hungry, getting to that mid-afternoon energy slump. What we want to do is put energy in when your body needs it. Now, the simple strategy that I'm going to share with you, it's called smoothie. Okay? That's what it says on the tin. Normally, I'm not a big fan of smoothies, and that's not me personally. I actually like the taste of them. I'm not a big fan of them for health and well-being because the vast majority of people having smoothies are having them when they're sedentary. And smoothies are a really good way of getting in a lot of sugar really quickly. Not great for health and longevity. However, they're great for a refuel, because what we need in a refuel is a really efficient way to get in a lot of carbohydrate. So if we have a smoothie in our refuel less than 45 minutes after. So if you actually plan your smoothie, you make it beforehand, maybe even the night before, put some ice cubes in there and have it as soon as you get back. You grab it, you can even take it up to the bathroom, you can have it in the shower, you can have it when you're prepping your stuff, getting ready for work. We can get in a large amount of carbohydrate, so it's going to be doing the 3 R's of recovery here. So I said carbohydrate there, we're doing the 3 R's of recovery. The first is we are going to recover. We're going to recover our muscle glycogen stores because that smoothie has carbs in. So I want you to aim for 1 gram per kilogram body weight in this recovery smoothie. How do you do that? You don't just have blended kale, half an apple and some water. No, this is going to be a big smoothie, okay? We're putting a lot of food in when your body needs it. That's going to help you feel better through the rest of the day. It's going to increase those energy. It's going to enable you to recover from that hard run. So how do we achieve this? I would recommend having at least 1 portion of tropical fruit. Tropical fruit. So easy things to think about here are 1 banana, because it gives it a nice creamy feel. Frozen mango works really well, so you can get a bag of that, store it in your freezer. What we also want is more carbohydrate. So we want a portion of oats. So if you have a couple of tablespoons, so 2 tablespoons of oats, if you have that blended in, we're going to increase the carbohydrate even further. That's what we want. Then we have the milk element. That's also going to bring some carbohydrate, because if you're using cow's milk, the lactose in that is going to be bringing that extra carbohydrate. With the milk, if you're using cow's milk, great, because you're getting some protein. If you're using plant-based milk, you're not going to be getting quite as much protein unless you use soy. So I'd recommend either cow's milk or soy. That leads us on really neatly to one of the second R's, which is repair. So to enable you to feel good after this session, we need to give the body what it wants. We've got carbohydrate coming in to recover your muscle glycogen, but we need to start repairing. We need to give the muscles what it needs to start the remodeling process. So how do we repair? We repair with protein. Been talking about milk here. So milk, that's got some protein in it. Cow's milk, that's why we're going cows or soy. It's probably not going to be enough though if we're just combining that with maybe some frozen mango, some oats, and potentially a bit of honey if we need to get it up to hit this number. Sugar, yes, go for it, it's a good time. Repair. So we've got the protein coming here. Another easy way to lift the protein up is a high protein Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, hopefully you can read that and it's not too small. And when I'm saying high protein, this doesn't have to be a supplemented yogurt. What we're looking for is something like a Skia or an Arla brand. And I want to empower you with knowledge, what you're looking for when you're going protein yogurt shopping. Not even really protein yogurt, when you're going yogurt shopping, just pick up the pieces of yogurt, read the nutritional information on the back. You're looking for about 10 grams of protein per 100 grams. That is a high protein yogurt, regardless of what the other yogurts say on their marketing on the front. So we don't really want to look at the front of the pack. That's just the marketing. We want to look at the back because the nutritional informational table isn't going to lie to you. I'm going to write that here. If we got 10 grams per 100 grams in your yogurt, that is high protein. So you can have a couple of tablespoons of that and it's going to lift it up. That paired with the cow's milk, you're going to be well on your way for 20 grams of protein, which is what your body needs. The third R, and why this smoothie is so good as a recovery fuel, is it's going to rehydrate. Okay. Now, a lot of craze around hydration at the moment. Everyone absolutely guzzling water. Rehydrating with a smoothie is great because it's got stuff in it. It's actually going to slow the transit time of the fluid through your system so your body has more time to absorb that. So it's a really efficient way of rehydrating. Don't really have to do much of this. There's going to be a fluid element in it. So I want you to focus on the timing of this. I've said here, less than 45 minutes after. I've recommended that you prep it beforehand so that you can start this recovery process, this repair process, this rehydration process immediately after you get back. That's going to enable your body to have what it needs to recover efficiently so that you're going to go into your next run feeling good. And also it's giving your body what it wants when it needs it so that you're going to get to the mid-morning and you're not going to feel absolutely ravenous. So those cakes, those biscuits in the office aren't going to be quite as appetizing, naturally bringing it down. So you don't have to just rely on how strict you are to stay on a diet. That's not our approach. We want to put in some strategies that are going to make it easier for you to manage all of those hormonal cravings. Now, the second tip, specifically for runners, after you've put this into practice, okay, I want you to focus on, I'm going to write this in here, I want you to focus on what your run is. And I want you to be specific. We're going to try and fuel for the desired stimulus of that session. That sounds a bit crazy, James. What I'm talking about here is consider the duration and the intensity of your run. So if you are running for 30, 45, 60 minutes, although you don't need carbohydrate for runs of that duration, I would actually recommend having something if it's, say, a 45 or 60 minute run. If you're going over that, then I'd definitely recommend having some carbohydrate in it, unless you're going at a really, really pedestrian pace. If your heart rate is so low that it's zone 1, zone 2, but if it's anything above zone 2, then I'd recommend we actually put some carbs in during that. There's science showing that if you fuel a bit more aggressively during these sessions, your cravings afterwards will come down. And as humans eat ad libitum, as and when we feel, actually the amount of energy you're going to consume in the rest of the day will come down, despite what's crazy is that putting in more when your body needs it. So, although you don't necessarily need to have carbs coming in during this 45, 60 minute run, have something. Now that may be something 5 minutes before, or it may be something 20 minutes or half an hour into the session. This could be something like a handful of dried fruit. This could be a small bit of flapjack. Okay? It might even be a sports supplement if you want to have something like that. Another of the advantages of this is that it's going to start training your gut, so that if you are working up in your running mileage and you're training for an event, instead of just throwing in loads of carbs during that race, if your body is more used to having carbohydrate when there's less blood flow in your gut during training, your body's going to adapt, and therefore it's going to be able to metabolize that carbohydrate a bit more effectively. So you've got all of that little sport nutrition benefit, but it's going to allow your body to respond better. It's going to make your hormones more manageable through the rest of the day. It's going to give you more consistent energy. So I'm going to say a number here. We're going to go with about 30 grams of carbohydrate per hour if your runs are about 45 to 60 minutes. So don't really even worry about the per hour there. If you're running for 45 minutes, maybe just have something about 20, 30 minutes in, have something. This could be 20 or 30 grams of carbohydrate. If you're running for an hour, maybe go for 30. It's going to make you feel good towards the end of the run. It's going to lift that performance. It's going to allow you then to recover better, refuel better. It's going to make you feel good, okay? Put these 2 tips into practice and then comment in the comments of this video how you feel. I promise you're going to start feeling better immediately. Please feel free to give my channel a subscribe and check out more of my content on Instagram because it goes a lot deeper than this.